Africa Inland Mission, or AIM, has served in Africa for over 100 years. Training Christian leaders has always been an important part of the ministry. But with a growing African church, leadership development today is more critical than ever before.
The church in Africa is probably one of the most dynamic churches in the world. It's expanding extremely rapidly.
The picture of African Christianity is one word. I mean, it's big.
With the church growing so rapidly, this creates, of course, a tremendous need for leaders.
Leadership was always on Jesus' mind. It was prominent, but the training of the 12 was for him second in importance to the cross, but only to the cross.
For us to train leaders for this church is incredibly important in growing more and more diverse in its needs.
Only a very small percentage of church leaders have any kind of training at all.
You end up with deacons and elders who are not trained within the church, who are now doing the majority of the preaching. Inevitably, you have problems.
If I had 30 new theological educators, we could place them.
Or more. I'm from Southern Sudan, and what brought me particularly to Scott Theological College is to be trained, because there's so much need in my country in regard to the church. You know, the church in Southern Sudan suffers so much from lack of trained leaders.
African Inland Mission at any one time works about 30 different institutions across Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, Southern Africa. In no instance are we controlling any of these schools. They're all in African hands, but we very much want to be servant teachers, servant disciple makers in these institutions.
My wife and I feel that our life calling is in leadership development. So we started looking at different missions, and we were really struck by the fact that here is AIM. They've been in Africa for over 100 years now, and one of their core passions, one of their core objectives is to train leaders for the Church of Africa. You're dealing with pain and suffering at levels that we don't understand in the West. You're dealing with AIDS and other diseases. You're dealing with warfare. You're dealing with tribalism. So you're dealing with things that on a day-to-day level just almost make you choke. They're so alive and real and painful.
We can't just duplicate what's done in the West. I went to seminary. They never told me how to pastor 12 churches at the same time.
We've got many people who have been relying or have been dependent much on the Western missionaries. And actually, it's high time that the Africans see the missionary work as our own responsibility.
That happens.
It requires people who are trained in regard to Sudanese culture. You know, Sudan has many tribes.
They know the language, they know the people, they know the culture. They're much more effective.
One student from Nigeria who's here worked with the government, had a good paying job. God called him to ministry, gave him a burden for poor congregations in the city, slum kind of congregations. He sold his house, he sold his big 4x4, gave up his job, sold everything, used that money for the plane tickets, and they've arrived here, you know, just to give themselves wholeheartedly to preparation for ministry. So great guts, great faith.
And to see them truly impacting the Church of Africa is exciting. And it's what the kingdom of God is all about, and it's what I want to give my life for as long as God would give me life.
That is my earnest desire, just to see Christian leaders being committed into missions.
I have that burden that I must go. If I don't go, who will go then? I have to take step of doing what I see God is calling me to do. I don't fear anything. Whatever comes before me, I will not fear, because Christ is there for me.